Which ACC teams have the most prospects in the 2025 NFL Draft? Find out in this video. The ACC is projected to take a step backwards this year, but their 41 draft prospects from the 2024 draft is hard to ignore. If you're new, subscribe to the channel as I will be releasing draft content all year long. But for now, I'm Chase Keller, and welcome to the best 2025 NFL draft prospects from every ACC school. Enjoy. There are 5 ACC teams with no prospects inside the current draft order on Mock Draft Database. Those 5 teams are Boston College in 17th, Georgia Tech in 16th, Duke in 15th, Virginia in 14th, and Pitt in 13th. Kicking things off for this ranking, we have a few one prospect teams. The tiebreaker is broken by whoever has the highest ranked prospect. The team with the lowest ranked prospect happens to be the Syracuse Orange. Their prospect, edge rusher Fadil Diggs, barely made the list in 212th of 224. As a transfer from Texas A&M, Diggs is built like a power rusher, but he rushes from the outside like a speed rusher. His versatility to play in different schemes is going to be huge as he tries to impress scouts for the 2025 draft. With one prospect in the 2025 NFL draft, the Syracuse Orange rank 12th on this list. Moving on to number 11, the SMU Mustangs also have just one prospect in the top 224. That player is junior tight end RJ Maryland, whose stock could immensely rise as draft season rolls around. Not only is he both a receiving threat and a blocking threat, he also has 13 career touchdowns. If his impact continues to rise, he could be a potential day 2 selection in the 2025 draft. With Maryland being their only prospect, the SMU Mustangs rank 11th in the ACC. The Wake Forest Demon Deacons may rank number 1 in coolest names in the ACC, but they rank number 10 in most prospects. They also only have the one prospect on this list, and that is 5th-year edge rusher Jasheen Davis. Davis plays so well off the edge, but he also has the ability to play on the inside of the line. His athleticism, hand technique, and overall bend when rushing off the edge gives him the advantage of being unpredictable. In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons have only one prospect, which ranks them 10th on this list. The final one prospect team makes their way onto this list, and the California Golden Bears have one of the most intriguing prospects in this entire draft. I'm talking about running back Jaden Ott, who has put together some phenomenal production so far in his career. He's very prominent in the running game, as his contact balance and lateral agility show out as some of his best traits. But he is also a great pass catcher, primarily because of that lateral agility combined with his ability to see the open field well. Unfortunately, Ott is the only prospect that the Golden Bears have to offer, which ranks California 9th in the ACC. Moving on to number 8, we have our first 2 prospect squad in the Virginia Tech Hokies. Neither of their prospects are huge impact players, and they will probably be day 3 picks at the end of the day, but they both have solid potential anyways. Beginning with Aeneas Peebles, a 5th-year Duke transfer who has shown heavy success as a pass rusher on the inside of the line. His pass rush arsenal is fantastic, but his motor and leadership will be what ultimately bring teams in. Cornerback Mansour Delane is another one of those high upside prospects, who was actually one of the best freshmen in the whole country in 2022. He's a great cover corner and man, and while he did take a step back in 2023, he's still a name to monitor. These 2 prospects cap off the Virginia Tech Hokies, and they rank 8th on this ACC prospects list. Similarly to Virginia Tech, the NC State Wolfpack have 2 prospects that aren't huge impact players. Despite this team being ranked 7th on this list, I am shocked they're not higher because of Anthony Belton, who I honestly like as a prospect a lot. Belton's physicality shines so much, as he's sometimes even able to knock back blockers a couple feet on run block snaps. In contrast, his athleticism is pretty bad, but when he can make up for it with physicality, I don't see why you wouldn't take a chance on him. Along with Belton, fifth-year defensive tackle Davin Vann is another guy who I thought would have been higher. Vann is also super powerful, but he combines that with a 4.79 40-yard dash, which is just ridiculous by the way, and a super agile skill set, which gives him high upside. With their two prospects in the 2025 NFL Draft, the NC State Wolfpack ranks 7th on this list. A team that's really struggled lately is joining the ACC. The Stanford Cardinal are shockingly number 6 on this list. They have two guys just outside of the top 100, and their top guy, in my opinion, could sneak into the second round. That player is junior wide receiver Alec Iomanner, who put himself on the map after torching Travis Hunter last season. He's primarily got the physical tools and the contested catch ability to be an absolute threat in the red zone. But on top of that, he's got the reliable hands and the deep route running to potentially impact as a 3-level threat. He's ranked 103rd, but ranked 106th is fellow junior David Bailey. He might be undersized, but he already shows elite athleticism for his position. His spin move is already NFL caliber, he's got fantastic explosiveness off the line, and the list keeps going on. With two prospects in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Stanford Cardinal rank 6th on this ACC prospects list. I don't like how they're called the Cardinal, not Cardinals, Cardinal. Anyways, the teams continue to gain more prospects as the list goes on, and in the 5th spot, we have the Louisville Cardinals. See, that's how you do the name. This team has 3 prospects in the upcoming draft, but they have one huge name in edge rusher Ashton Gelati. The 4th-year player is ranked 43rd on the consensus big board, which is the 4th highest ACC player. Are you noticing a pattern here? Gelati is one of the most explosive pass rushers in all of college football, and he's really good at using that to his advantage. After Gelati, defensive tackle Thor Griffith is a near top 100 prospect after transferring in from Harvard. He's got some fantastic pop off the line combined with his great play strength that makes him a threat on the inside. And finally, 6th-year cornerback Quincy Riley is returning for his final season, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the ACC yet again. His fluidity is top-notch among college corners, which makes his transitions out of zone and out of his back pedals elite. With those 3 prospects in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Louisville Cardinals rank 5th on this list. I originally thought the Miami Hurricanes only had 2 prospects, but with a very recent transfer, they slot into 4th with 3 prospects. Before we get into that transfer, we have another huge transfer in quarterback Cameron Ward. Ward has some spotty strengths and nothing's really too complete, like his improvising ability and his pocket presence. But I love his deep ball, as he has both the strength and the ball placement to squeeze these footballs into very tight gaps. After Ward, edge rusher Tyler Barron had a very chaotic offseason before landing on Miami. He shows a very good chunk of awareness in the run game and a very explosive skill set that he uses in the pass game. And finally, Miami doesn't see another prospect until number 177 with 5th-year defensive tackle Akeem Messiter. He's got that frame where he can build both his physical and his athletic skill set. And yes, he has both in his game. But that wraps up Miami. With 3 prospects in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Hurricanes crack the top 4 on this ACC prospects list. The North Carolina Tar Heels kick off this list top 3 with their 5 prospects inside the top 224. And this team also has a massive prospect in terms of the ACC, running back Omarion Hampton. Hampton was one of the best running backs in all of college football last season with 1,700 total yards and 16 touchdowns as only a sophomore. He has the vision both behind the line and in the open field to maximize his top-notch explosiveness and lateral ability. Tight end Bryson Nesbitt gives us the first team on this list with 2 prospects inside the top 100. The junior might be a little lean for a tight end, but his route running ability and his athleticism give him high upside as a receiving threat. His 1,055 receiving yards combined with his 14.5 yards per reception give him some of the best numbers of any tight end over the last 2 seasons. After Nesbitt, we have a raw and intriguing prospect with Zach Rice, who has played a total of 28 snaps over the last 2 years. But the former 5-star prospect was heavily sought out of high school, and he will finally get his shot in his junior season. Defensive tackle Kamen Rucker had a really funny way of announcing that he was returning to school for his 5th season. The potential day 2 selection has a fantastic motor and has been praised by teammates as a leader. At the end of this squad, senior linebacker Power Eccles almost didn't make this list, but he squeezes in at number 214. He's likely a Mike linebacker at the next level because of his ability to make open field tackles well and communicate in zone coverage. These 5 prospects that the North Carolina Tar Heels have to offer rank them 3rd in the ACC. I apologize for no face cam for the rest of this video, but the runner-up in the ACC is the winner of the ACC last season, the Florida State Seminoles. They saw 10 of their players get drafted in the 2024 draft, and they have 6 projected picks for the 2025 draft. This begins with the highest ranked prospect in all of the conference, senior edge rusher Patrick Payton. Payton would have been a highly touted prospect in the 2024 draft, but he decided to return to school to prove himself as a number 1 edge rusher. Following Payton is cornerback Azareeh Thomas, who gets his opportunity with a lot of DBs leaving last year. He's been a good rotational piece for the Seminoles up to present day, and his outlook seems like it will be a number 2 corner at the next level. 2 guys in the trenches come back to back here, beginning with defensive tackle Joshua Farmer. He didn't take the jump he wanted in his senior season, but he'll get another crack at becoming an NFL draftee by 2025. Then we have an interior O-lineman in Terrence Ferguson II, a redshirt junior transfer from Alabama. He only had 175 snaps in his 3 seasons with the Tide, but he looks to take over an immediate starting role in Tallahassee. In the 2024 NFL Draft, the Seminoles had 2 cornerbacks selected, and they look to have another 2 in 2025, with Fentrell Cypress being the second. The 6th-year senior has the athleticism and the fluidity to shine as a man corner at the next level. And to wrap things up, the edge rusher Marvin Jones Jr., not the wide receiver, barely cracked the draft order at 220th. The former Georgia edge rusher was a highly recruited high school prospect, but he just hasn't clicked yet in FBS play. With 6 2025 NFL draft prospects, the Florida State Seminoles rank 2nd on this ACC prospects list. And finally, the ACC team with the most 2025 NFL draft prospects is none other than the Clemson Tigers. With 7 prospects inside the current draft order, we have a good amount to talk about, so let's get into it. The potential number 1 linebacker in Barrett Carter kicks off Clemson's list, and I may have something for Clemson linebackers because I love this guy as a prospect. Not only is Carter one of the best coverage linebackers in all of college football, but he can also get downhill and threaten as a run defender as well. Shortly after Carter, we have a top-tier offensive tackle in junior Blake Miller, who has been Clemson's starting right tackle since joining the team. He's got the measurables and the athletic testing to be a dominant pass blocker off the edge at the next level. Then Cade Klubnik being ranked 127th is one epitome of how disappointing this quarterback class is. While he has been underwhelming in his career, he can still play well both inside and outside of the pocket. 6 spots later on the consensus big board is tight end Jake Brenningstool, who has enough upside to be a day 2 pick. He possesses above average athleticism that will give him the edge in the receiving game once he reaches the NFL. Then we have 3 straight wide receivers, which completely caught me off guard when writing this script. First up is junior Antonio Williams, who looks to be a nice slot receiver who hopefully didn't peak during his 500-yard freshman season. After him is junior Adam Randall, who is freaky athletic especially for his size, but he's gone for under 400 yards in his 2 seasons. And wrapping up the Clemson prospects is senior Bo Collins, who funny enough has the best production of these 3 receivers. He's got great measurables just like Randall, and he combines that with route running and athleticism to make him a threat. So, there are your 7 Clemson prospects. Those 7 give them the number 1 spot on this 2025 NFL Draft ACC prospects list. Let's try this with the face cam. Well, those are the best 2025 NFL Draft prospects from every ACC school. Who do you think should be on this list? Let me know in the comment section below. Wait. Are you not subscribed yet? Well, do it now. I release content like this all the time and would really appreciate your support. I'm Chase Keller from Chase Keller Journalism, and I will see you all next time.